Manisha Panchakam, 5 verses on enlightenment. And in these 5 verses, he actually encompasses the entirety of the Advaita teaching. All of Advaita Vedanta in all its complexity and subtlety. You find the essence in these 5 verses. So they have become very popular among non-dualists. The first verse goes, Jagrat Swapna Sushuptishu Sputatara Ya Samvidujrimbhate Ya Brahmadi Pipilikanta Tanushu Prota Jagat Sakshini Saivaham Nacha Drishya Vastu Iti Dridha Pragyapi Yasyasti Chet Chandalo Vastu Satu Dvijo Vastu Gurur Ityesha Manisha Mama. Very beautiful, lucid Sanskrit. Shankaracharya says, in waking, dreaming and deep sleep, there is one consciousness which is blazing forth. So in the first sentence itself, he indicates the essential insight of Advaita Vedanta. What does he mean to say? Consider our experience. Waking. You the waker and your world, waker's world. You the dreamer and all that we experience in our dreams. We and our own dreams. And then we go into deep sleep. We are in deep sleep. We are not aware of an external world. We are not aware of any dreams. In fact, we are not even aware of our individual existence. We are not aware of anything. And yet, that is a kind of experience that even there is experience, because we wake up and we say that I slept happily. I did not know anything. How can we say that unless there was some kind of basal experience, some kind of proto-awareness there? Shankaracharya says, consider our experience. In the waking state itself, we are experiencing many things now. If you see what you're seeing the shrine and the Swami sitting there, you're looking at me, you're looking at the chandelier, looking at your neighbors. The objects are different. What you see, each object is different. The shrine is different, a different entity. The Swami is a different entity, and the chandelier is a different entity. We see one entity after another, one thing after another we are seeing. But all of them are appearing to the same awareness. Are you with me? I, the same awareness, am aware of the shrine, of the Swami, of the chandelier. Objects keep changing. As the objects keep changing, our experience changes. The experience of the shrine and experience of the Swami and experience of the chandelier are different. 3 different experiences. Yet, what accounts for the difference of these in these 3 different experiences? The objects are different. But the consciousness, the awareness which experience these different objects, it's the same. Is it not? Do we say that a different consciousness? You say, no, I saw the shrine. I saw the Swami. Now I am seeing the chandelier. That I is an aware I, a conscious I. That I is constant in all the experiences, and that I is, you will see what is the essential nature of that I is awareness. It says, so what? If you are okay with this is very common sense, you're okay with this. Now extend it to all experiences, not just seeing 3 things. Hearing. You're hearing words. What I'm saying, music. Little while ago we were listening to music. Is it not the same awareness which was seeing those 3 things? The same awareness has heard the music and is now hearing the words. True or not? Same awareness. It gives us the experience of seeing many things. It gives us experience of hearing many things. Same awareness. Gives us the experience of tasting many things, smelling and touching many things. The same awareness continues. The objects of experience are many, and therefore experiences are many. And the objects need not be external objects also. They could be internal objects like thoughts, feelings, emotions, ideas. Even this, what we are discussing, is an idea shining in your awareness. It was not there a little while ago, and hopefully it will stay for a while. But still, it's an idea and bound to go at one time. So this consciousness is common to all the experiences. Sensory experience, which are called perceptions, and internal experiences, which are called apperceptions. They come and go, the objects are various, consciousness is one and continuous. That is the story of our waking life. And then we fall asleep. This entire world of objects disappears. We are not even aware of this body which has gone and fallen asleep on the bed. We forget that too. And a world of dreams is generated. World of dreams, where again there are objects. They are dreamt. And at that time it does not feel like a dream. It feels that we are awake. We are actually having experiences. We don't suspect usually that we are in a dream. It's only after we wake up, we say, oh, that was a dream. And all that I saw was imagined in the mind. All the people I met there were imagined in the mind. All the events that happened there were imagined in the mind. But when I say all, that means there are many objects there. All the imagined objects, and they come and go. We see, hear, smell, taste, touch, so many things within quotes. We actually do not see, hear, smell, taste, touch anything because all the senses are downtime. But it's all imagined in the mind. The point Shankaracharya wants to say is, the same consciousness which is illumining all the experiences in our waking state, it continues unbroken in the dream state. All the objects thrown up by the mind in the dream, they are illumined by the same unchanging consciousness. I hope you are with me. Don't fall asleep, don't dream. The whole point of Advaita is to be awake and to attend to our experiences now, and then recall our experiences in dream and deep sleep, recall them and compare them, and show that they all happen to the same consciousness. See, Advaita is interested in us, but not in the contents of our experiences. What I mean by this is, when we talk about waking, dreaming and deep sleep, I've seen often people ask questions, Swami, I dreamt this. What does it mean? Advaita will say, not interested. Advaita is not interested in the contents of our dreams. Then, Advaita is interested in you, is interested in us, the one which is dreaming. Do you see the difference between the dreamer and the dream? No? We are so engrossed in this world of waking. We are not aware of the waker apart from the objects. We are so engrossed in the dreams, we do not consider for one moment the dreamer to whom the dream is happening. Advaita is interested in you. One gentleman goes to a teacher, Advaita teacher, and says, oh Swami, I am so miserable. And the monk shouts at him, I don't care. How cruel. You don't care. I've got so many miseries in my life. I'm not interested in your miseries. I'm interested in you. Thereby opening up a gap between I and my miseries. That's very, very important. This insight, this is what Shankaracharya is doing. All that we consider to be real and important and maybe tragic or wonderful in our day-to-day lives, this is real and important, this is my life. All of it disappears when we go to sleep. All of it disappears. True or not? And a different world replaces it. Yes, a world of imagination, a world created from material salvaged from our waking state. True. But that comes. And we continue to experience that. And there are problems in that world, all of which we laugh at when we wake up. And then that too disappears. Deep sleep. Somebody may say, in deep sleep consciousness does not continue. So your whole thesis, I see that you're driving towards identifying the self with consciousness, with this continuous consciousness. But now what will you say? In deep sleep there's no consciousness. But Advaita Vedanta says, Shankaracharya says, Consciousness continues in deep sleep. What is not there in deep sleep is something, yes, the mind is not there. What is deep sleep? When the senses are not engaged with the world outside and reporting sight, sound, smell, taste, touch. When the mind is not imagining its dreams, that is deep sleep. So the senses are shut down, the mind is shut down. That is deep sleep. But it does not say consciousness shuts down. In deep sleep there is consciousness, but nothing to be conscious about. Let me repeat that. Deep sleep is a state in which consciousness continues, as it is continuing now, as it continues in dreams, but there is nothing to be conscious about. And that's why to the waking mind, to the active mind, it looks like nothing. It looks like nothing. But if it was nothing, you couldn't come back and report it. Notice, suppose deep sleep had no consciousness at all. Suppose deep sleep was not an experience at all. You're not there to experience it. Suppose consciousness was not there to experience it. Then how would we talk about it? We would say, I was awake, I went to bed, and I remembered some dreams, and then I woke up. We would not say there was a period of nothingness, absolute rest. You see, I slept like a log. I didn't know anything at all. It was so restful. Every culture in our world makes a distinction between sleep with dreams and sleep without dreams. Even modern medicine, this whole sleep science, and they talk about REM sleep and non-REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep and non-rapid eye movement sleep. And when that rapid eye, it seems that in parts of our sleep, the eyeballs move rapidly. If you wake up the subject at that time, the subject reports dreams, vivid dreams. And there's a period of time when the eyeballs do not move. And if you do wake up the subject at that time, the person will report no dreams. So that means even physiologically, there is confirmation of dreamless sleep and sleep with dreams. Shankaracharya's point is, consciousness continues uninterrupted. Through the waking state, through the dream state, through the deep sleep state. Therefore, consciousness is not trapped with one body and mind. If the body disappears from your awareness, you're still experiencing dreams. If the mind also stops, you're still experiencing blankness. So consciousness is not stuck, is not limited to a body. It's a great insight of Advaita Vedanta. If this step is taken, if you have questions about this, keep it in mind. We have a Q&A session coming up. But if this step is taken, what you're saying here is, what Shankaracharya is saying here is, you, the awareness, your essential nature, our essential nature is awareness. That awareness is not produced by the brain, as the materialists would have us believe. That it's a product of the brain. That it is working through, that it is somehow based on matter. No. Consciousness is independent of the brain. It works through the brain. It's something like, you all came in through the door. Now if I say, the door is a wonderful thing, it produced all these people. Why? I can see them. You're coming through the air, it's being produced, they're being produced by the door. And then after some time it absorbs all these people. No! You just walk through the door and you walk out of the door. So the brain and the nervous system is like a portal, like a machine which consciousness uses. Consciousness is distinct from the body, though working in and through the body. And it needs the body. It needs the mind too. It needs the eyes to see, it needs the ears to hear, it needs the tongue to have the experience of, conscious experience of tasting. It needs the mind to have these thoughts. In fact, to do Vedanta, it needs the mind. So, consciousness is an independent reality, our own reality, which is not dependent, which is not produced by the body. It's not a part of the body, it's not even a product of the brain or nervous system. So consciousness is not material nature. Material nature is not fundamental to consciousness. Consciousness is fundamental. This is what Shankaracharya, the first point he wants to say. Consciousness is distinct from body-mind. This is the first point. It is the first step of Advaita. Notice, if you say consciousness is distinct from the body-mind, working through the body-mind, illumining our experiences in waking, dreaming, deep sleep, it is still not non-duality. Because now you have two things. One, consciousness, and the other one, material nature. Body, mind, world, everything else. Which gives experiences to consciousness. So you have two fundamental realities. Now I have a question. That in my body-mind, the question which comes up automatically, in this body-mind, all right, I am consciousness shining through this body and mind, and I experience Sarvapriyananda. And through this Sarvapriyananda body-mind, I experience the world as a person. But then there are so many persons here. So how many consciousnesses? How many consciousnesses? One or many? You've been listening to Vedanta too long. But it looks like many. Clearly there are many bodies. Clearly there are many minds. How do you know there are many bodies? You can count them. The usher has been counting. So that's why I can see them. They're turning away all people there because it's full. So they've been counting. That means there is a distinct number of people. How do you know there are many minds? Pretty easy. If I ask you to describe your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions right now, if we give a psychology questionnaire to everybody, different answers will come. Different descriptions will come. So each of us is having a different internal experience right now. That is also pretty clear. So many bodies, many minds, many consciousnesses. Shankaracharya says, no. Ya brahmadi pipilikanta tanushu prota jagat sakshini. Starting from the highest of the gods, Brahma, all the way down to a little, an humble ant. All through that, there is one golden thread of consciousness running through all bodies and minds. What is the argument for that? Well, Advaita turns the question around. How would you distinguish consciousness from one body to another body? You see, to distinguish two things, you need distinguishing features. And all the distinguishing features between two persons are exhausted by the differences in body and mind. Whatever you could say distinguishes me from the other person. You will see it's a difference in the body or in the mind. But in the witnessing consciousness, in the pure subject, what difference is there? So we could discuss this later if you have questions. But Shankaracharya takes the next step in Advaita Vedanta. Having distinguished consciousness from body and mind, he says it is one consciousness in and through all bodies and minds. Notice two things have been said so far. One is, it is one unchanging consciousness in and through all the experiences which each one of us has. Throughout our waking life, throughout our dream life, throughout our deep sleep. In all of these, we have thousands and thousands of experiences. Shankaracharya says, but there is one distinct consciousness running through all of these experiences, to which all of these experiences are happening. Point one. Apart from body and mind, you are this unchanging one consciousness. Point one. Point two, in all bodies and minds, it's the same consciousness. It's one consciousness. Gita, Sri Krishna says, it is one in all bodies and minds, undivided in all bodies and minds, appearing to be divided. Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktam iva cha sthitam. Undivided in all bodies and minds, there is this one consciousness which seems to be different. Why does it seem to be different? Because bodies are different, because minds are different, because personalities are different. Shankaracharya says, from the highest god Brahma down to the lower gods, Indra, Chandra, Varuna and all of that, down to the Gandharvas and so on, down to us, human beings, and to lower animals, and to the most humble of creatures, mere little tiny creatures, there is one consciousness running through all of them. So consciousness is one reality and the rest. And he gives it a beautiful name. Ya Jagat Sakshini, she who is the witness of the entire universe. A crucial point. When I talk about one consciousness here, I can say this consciousness is the witness of this body and mind. I am the witness of this body and mind. And through this body and mind, I witness the world. That's one point of view. My consciousness point of view. Here. But Shankaracharya says if it is one consciousness in all bodies and minds, then it is the one experiencer of all experiences. It is the one subject of all objects. Not only the objects which are presented to this body and mind, but the objects which are presented to all bodies and minds, human and non-human. So it is one consciousness in all bodies and minds, and he calls it the witness of the universe. And he uses a feminine there, Jagat Sakshini, she who is the witness of the entire universe. This is the Vedantic conception of God. What is the Vedantic conception of God? Just as I am an individual, I feel I'm limited to this body and mind. Imagine a consciousness which identifies with all beings in the universe. Right now, all 7 billion human beings on earth, and God knows how many billions of other sentient creatures, and God knows how many other billions of other creatures in maybe other worlds or whatever there is. All of that together, if there's a consciousness which says, I am all of this. So that is the Vedantic conception of God. And you can think of that God as male or female, as the Divine Mother, and here Shankaracharya chooses to call it female, Jagat Sakshini. And then he takes the next step. He says, Saivaham nacha drishya vastuviti, sa eva aham, I am she. Not sometimes usually we say I am he, but here Shankaracharya, very lucid, in a very relaxed way, he says, I am she. We are one with the Divine Mother. Who am I? Am I only the consciousness in this body? If I say that, it's still a step ahead. That's a pretty big step. But that is Sankhya philosophy or Yoga philosophy. If I say I am one consciousness in all bodies, then we have gone towards Vedanta. We have gone beyond Sankhya. So I am this one consciousness, Prota, he says, running in and through all bodies, like a garland of gems through which a string or a thread runs through all the gems. There's a subtle point here. When you look at a garland of gems, you feel that in all the gems, there is inside that one thread runs through it. So the thread is in the gems. But if you consider it more seriously, you will see the gems are set on the thread. That's why it's a garland. It's not that there's a little bit of consciousness running through us. Consciousness is primary, and we are all set in consciousness. Ya Jagat Sakshini. Saivaham, I am that. Not Drishya Vastu, not an object of experience. Here Shankaracharya gives us a fundamental Advaitic way of inquiry, of self-inquiry. What is self-inquiry? Who am I? What am I? How do I do that? What is the method? Look at your own experience. Consider our own experience. How do I do that? How do I consider my own experience? Here is the instrument. Here is the method. What is the method? The method is, if I am aware of something, I am not that. It's an object. What does that mean? Here, I am aware of the chandelier. So I am not the chandelier. And you say, obviously, Swami, you are not the chandelier. I used to read these Asterix comics when we were kids. I don't know, some of you must have read them. Asterix and Obelix. They are popular in India. Tintin comics and things like that. So there's this, it's set in ancient Gaul, in the Roman Empire's time. And they are visiting an ancient psychiatrist. And so there are patients sitting outside. And one of the patients goes on all fours, and somebody asks, what's wrong with him? He thinks he's a dog. And then he goes in, and after some time he comes out walking like this. And people are impressed. Wow, that's a really tremendous cure. So he doesn't think he's a dog? The psychiatrist said, no, he still thinks he's a dog. I just taught him to beg. We think we are an object. No, Swami, I don't think I'm an object. Yes, we do. This body, am I aware of this body? Can I see the body? Of course. Can you see your own body? Of course. Can you taste, touch, feel, even hear the body? Of course. The body is an object to all our senses. Clearly we are aware of the body. It's an object, and we have absolutely no doubt that I am it. So I, the subject, I so easily identify myself with an object, the body. We may argue, no, I don't think I am the body. I am in the body. I am embodied. I am a consciousness and awareness in the body. It's my body, but I'm in the body. I am a person in the body. But a person is somebody who is identified with thoughts, a personal history. But even the thoughts, our own memories, our own personality, that's also an object. Is it not so? Am I not aware of my own thoughts? When we look inside, introspect, yes. Happy thoughts, I am aware of it. Miserable thoughts, depressing thoughts, I'm aware of it. All the thoughts that we have, good and bad, we usually torture ourselves with our thoughts. Why? Because I think I am that. That's who I am. But that's also an object. Shankaracharya gives us the instrument. If you are aware of it, you are not it. It's a thing. Every thought is a thing. Shed this identification with thoughts. We are holding it tightly. Let it go. It will still be there. Don't worry. The mind will not disappear. I lost my mind somewhere. I went to a Vedanta class. I was sitting in the third row. Could you please look at if you can find my mind there? I left it there. You'll be blessed if you can leave your mind there like that. But notice, you don't have to physically leave it anywhere. Just notice, I am not it. You know what thoughts are like? Like that ray of sunlight coming through the window, and there are motes of dust which whirl around, tiny motes of dust, Brownian movement we learnt in school. Thoughts are like that. In the constant sunlight of awareness, thoughts come like little bits of dust. They float around and they shine and then they disappear. So I am not those little motes of dust. Na drishya vastu. Anything that we are aware of, we are not it. It's a very good instrument to use. Whenever we are troubled, miserable thoughts, unpleasant thoughts, feelings, I am not it because I'm aware of it. Will it go away? Eventually, but even when it is there, it will not trouble you. Because you see, I am the unaffected witness of that. I was there before it, I am there when it is shining, I'll be there after it is gone. Not only that, it's shining in my light. It's in the mind which is lit up by me, the consciousness. Nadrishya vastu. And a person who knows this clearly, Dridhamati, Dridha pragya, such a person, let it be a chandal, an outcast, or let that person be a Brahmin of the highest caste, such a person is my guru. That is my conviction, Shankaracharya says. Such a person is my guru.